we have a lot of patients that come in of neck pain and back pain, and the things that most people think about seeing a chiropractor for, and yet now their digestion's better, their blood pressure is dropped, and all these other kind of side bonus effects happen. Probably the coolest story was I got the privilege to go on 3 different what's called mission trips, where we basically a team of doctors went to different countries. I've been to Brazil, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. And one of the trips, which was Nicaragua, we were at this big mega church, and it was about 30 chiropractors. When we got there, we just got goosebumps because everyone was lined up waiting for the American doctors to come by and heal them of any issue that they had. They actually did this announcement on the radio that were telling all the people in the community that chiropractors were coming getting free care. So they were literally lined up at the church before we got there. We would check people just pretty much every half hour. We would scan a patient's neck and we would check that top part of their neck to make sure that that bone was in the right position. And most people only got one adjustment for that day. However, the real severely deficient neurological cases like cerebral palsy, MS, those people we would check on a routine basis throughout the day. So this one girl, she was maybe 14 or 15, she had cerebral palsy and she was in a wheelchair. Her mother was with her, and so we could not adjust her like a normal patient. We would have to adjust her actually off the wall. So we would actually take her, wheel her up next to the wall. We would take an adjusting table. We'd have a chiropractor on one side, a chiropractor on the other, holding this adjusting table up on the wall, and then we would adjust her neck, and it was the loudest sound I've ever heard. It was like World War II bombs blowing up in her neck. You have all that scar tissue just built up over time. All that scar tissue, the sound, not only the sound of the scar tissue, but the actual gas in the joint when it's released, it's a really loud sound. And we adjusted her maybe twice in the morning, and then we broke for lunch, and we ate the stereotypical rice and beans and meat. And we had about 30 chiropractors all eating lunch, and this girl was eating lunch with us, and her mom was with her. She scoffed down her whole plate of food, and then she started to reach for other people's food, basically taking handfuls of rice and scoffing it in her face. And not only did she finish her plate, but she finished the chiropractor's plate next to her, and she's giggling and laughing, and her mother is bawling, crying. And we didn't know Spanish, so we asked the translator, like, why is this woman in tears? Can you ask her what's going on? And she goes, you don't understand. My daughter's never been like this her whole life. We've had to force feed her to eat. And not only did she want to eat on her own, but she wanted to try and get up out of her wheelchair and try to walk around. Well, we know she can't do that because she's been in a wheelchair her whole life. But we're entertaining the idea. So we have a chiropractor on one side of her, chiropractor on the other, and she's laughing and giggling and walking around the church as we're kind of assisting her. And the mom is like, I don't know what you guys did, but whatever you did, it's like the life came back in her eyes. She's animated again. She's wanting to eat. She's wanting to walk. She was basically forced in physical therapy to put one leg in front of the other just to get some circulation in her legs. And now she's, for the first time, wanting to walk on her own. So it's just one of those experiences. It's like, you don't know how you're going to touch someone's life until something like that happens. And that was probably one of the coolest cases that we've had in chiropractic.